Yes, guys, welcome to the Coolest Cheers podcast. This is your boy Tebogo. Please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully today I won't have network issues, but again, let's see what is going to happen, guys. It's been a pleasure covering Chelsea news. Yeah, so I've been experiencing some network issues, so I can't do streams almost every day because it's so hard. I need to just check the day whether my network is more stable. But hopefully today should it be stable. But if not, hopefully fellow panelists will come along and help me while I'm still fighting with it. So if you're new, please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. So a lot of things have been happening while I was away. So I just want to check, okay, the link is in the group now. So hopefully I can have panelists now joining me free. So I think it's 10 of you are watching, so it's very important to have some comments or the comment section so that we can talk about Chelsea. So overall, let's go straight into this. Crystal Palace center back, Maxine, 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 okay. Lacroix is expected to sign with Chelsea around 55 million after the World Cup. So overall, I know this is not a here we go, it's not a Daily Austin news. Overall, what are your thoughts about Chelsea link with this player? Because it seems like this is getting pace as well. But again, it's not like the PS3 deal. Big up, Dante.
Yeah, big up to Bego. How are you? Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you now, so keep on working while I'm fixing this.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, big up. I'm good, thanks. Everyone in the chat, big up. Yeah, I see you've got
I can hear you now.
You've got Lacroix there on in picture, so I assume you've been talking about him.
Yeah, I've just started not talking about him because I was just fixing some background issue, but now I'm fine.
Yeah. So looks like we're gonna sign him. I think
So
probably we will. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, or maybe you're lagging a little bit behind. Maybe I think like last time. Hopefully not. But anyway, yeah, Lacroix is. Yeah, I think we'll sign him. We're probably gonna sign him. He's a Chelsea fan as well. I've seen an interview where he's talked about that. That would be a dream come true for him to play for Chelsea one day. So I think that's pretty much given now. That I think after seeing that interview, I think he's definitely going to sign now. Especially because we've come after him as well. I don't see him going anywhere else except Chelsea.
Yeah, 100%. If we are the one that are pushing for him very hard, I think he's going to come to Chelsea.
I think even if he gets a little bit better offer somewhere else, I think he'll still come to Chelsea because of that interview I saw. He was very passionate when he was talking about. He's like, yeah, he watched growing up. He watched Chelsea, the Chelsea players, and he said, hopefully one day a dream will be a dream come true if he actually joins Chelsea. So when he said that, I'm like, well, yeah, if we go after him, there's no one else that can get him. If he said that, I don't see anyone else. I don't see him agreeing with anyone else, to be honest. So I think this is pretty much in the bag, in my opinion, because of what he said in the interview.
Yeah, 100%. It says if Belgium draws tonight, Mike Pendes might come back earlier. Yeah, Belgium, I don't understand what is wrong with Belgium because they have good players, but again, it seems like their coach is making a lot of tactics wrong. But again, I think they're going to make through because they're so strong not to make into the next round. So overall,
Yeah, look,
big ups.
yeah, Belgium are. The problem is they're a bit old, the side, and it's the same
Mm,
side that's been failing for the last,
decade.
8 years. Basically, they've been failing because they haven't done very well. So he hasn't changed that side at all. So they're just going to keep on failing. I don't know if they're going to get through, to be honest.
Yeah, and also big up to Drav. He says there were breaking news. Pass back to Como. Okay, no problem then. It seems like Real Madrid is going to get an advantage again as well. So let's see. But again, I'm not worried about Paez now as much as I like him, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
But big up,
not
bro.
right now. We'll see what Madrid want to do with him. Como can still buy him if they really want to, because they're gonna have a first have a first look at him. Real Madrid's always going to call him back. It's a 9 million. They know they can sell him probably with 50 or 60 if they want to sell him. So they're always going to call him back.
Exactly. That's the thing. Okay, now I can see it. Exclusive Como agreed deal with Madrid to buy Nico Pass on. Here we go. Agreement reached. As Como re-signed Pass from Madrid. Now wanted to start at Como. Madrid will keep control of on Nico and maintain buyback clause. So that's the thing. I was having an argument with my friends that as much as you're saying that Nico Paez doesn't want to go back to Real Madrid, but again, they have the control. So at the end of the day, it's up to Real Madrid. What do they want for this player?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't think Mourinho wants him, to be honest. So I don't think they're going to keep him.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Joel, says big up to everyone, big up to the panel. It's been a while, bro. At least Mike Pender's come back to our number one goalkeeper next season. Wow. We're not sure yet, but again, let's see
Not
what is
number
going
one. He won't be number one.
Say again, he won't be number one.
He won't be number one. That's there's no way he's over Sanchez number one. He might earn that during the season, but to start off with, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be over Sanchez, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he shouldn't be. He hasn't earned it yet. He shouldn't be, because Sanchez has earned it. He's done well enough. So he needs to earn it. He has to come in, in training, whatever, as the season goes on. When he gets his chance, if he puts proper displays up, and then maybe Sanchez is struggling, he might come in. But otherwise, he won't be number one. No, he'll definitely be the number two for now, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sis, what about Mudrik? Is he still a Chelsea player? Yes, he's still Chelsea player, but again, still waiting for his appeal. So let's see what is going to happen. Unfortunately, still waiting for his appeal. So, hello guys, please any update on Maxine? Unfortunately, just giving an update that Chelsea are pushing at the moment, but still no agreement. I think the issue they're having at the moment is we have an overload of centre backs. So at least if we sell one or two centre backs, I think the deal will happen as soon as we sell one centre back, which is okay because we can't have overload. What if we don't have suitors for likes of the maybe not talk about the South. The South, I think is Chelsea career is over. I'm talking about Tosin, Badishile. If you're not selling those, what is going to happen with Lacroix as well? So as much as I want a new center back, I think we need to offload as well. Big up the bro, you butchered my name. We'll fight. Dante, we are never going to bypass adding another left footer to attacker with Palestra via etc. Also, left-footed will be a disaster. Like I always say the same thing that we need a right-footed attacking player because as much as I like left-footers, we need to have balance as well. So, and I agree with you there. So Ben Jacob says on Liam Delap, Everton and Newcastle are both keen on the player and there's some interest from Syria. So overall, what are your thoughts about Liam Delap? Do you think Chelsea will give him another chance or is getting sold? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it'll depend a lot on Alonso as well. Obviously, he might have a look at game film, etc. I've been looking at it. He might want that type of profile of striker. We don't know. If he does, he'll give him a go in preseason. But yeah, most likely, I think he'll probably be moved on. Could be a loan, maybe not a sale. Might be a loan because he goes on loan, does very well. Well, then you're gonna first of all you get some money back already, and then you can sell him up even easier and for more. Or if the right offer comes in now for what we bought him, they'll probably sell him because we've got a mega coming in as well. So, and we'll see what happens with Nicholas Jackson as well. So there's still a bit of time for this one, but I think once Alonso gets the first group of players in, the ones that are coming back early that won't be in the groups that in the knockout phase of the World Cup, etc., the ones that will come back a little bit early, probably have a look at them a little bit, a few training sessions, and probably make a decision. But yeah, it's an unknown at the moment. I think most fans want him gone, but look, he's got some talent in there. He didn't really take his chance. Didn't really take his chance that second half of the season because obviously at the first half he was injured and etc. So, but when he did come in, he really didn't take his chance. Now I knew he'd probably struggle a little bit coming from a team like where he came from. Just like Pedro Neto when he came as well, different game style. You're gonna have more possession. You're gonna have more the ball. There won't be much space, and Neto struggled with that as well. And then after the first 6 months, he was good. He got used to it. And he was really good. So yeah, look, they might give him a go, but it will all depend on Alonso. Obviously, it's one of those we have to wait and see. If the right offer does come in, and maybe we get our money back, or maybe even a little bit. Don't be surprised even a couple of million on top of that, maybe, who knows? And he's promised maybe somewhere else to be a starter. Well, then he probably might be swayed and he might go himself. He might want to go himself. So yeah, we'll wait and see. I did see some reports saying, he wants to stay and, fight for his position, etc. Well, I mean, we saw Jackson say the same thing all last season, and then he ended up going as well because he didn't want to stay anymore because of the competition. So, well, yeah, it's one of those. We'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also the other thing, right, is that we don't have any European competition. Maybe if you had Conference League or a Europa League, maybe he might stay. At least having 3 strikers, that it means he can get enough game time playing those Europa League or Conference League. So unfortunately, we're playing 1 game per week. It will be hard to keep at least 3 strikers. So that's the right issue as well.
Yeah, we know Omega, obviously Delap and Jackson. So, one of those has to stay. Definitely one of those has to stay. So who that is going to be, we don't know. Maybe Alonso might want two to stay. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 100% is gone. Definitely. We're not going to have 4 of them. And don't forget Magui as well. Magui is the other one, the other striker that we have as well. So yeah, I think, so pretty much 2 guaranteed to go, probably 1 guaranteed to stay. The other one maybe might be a loan. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, we'll know more once Alonso starts and we hear him, press conferences and what he says. You'll get a fair idea. We'll know he'll say what he prefers and how many strikers, etc. Because he's going to be asked the questions. So I think we'll know only then.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And then perhaps system, how was Tole versus South Korea? I think he played with confidence and it was very good. The first game, I think a lot of our players, as much as the tactics were wrong from the beginning, our players seems like they were scared to play their game. And then we saw that against Czech Republic and also against South Korea. I think South Africa were fantastic. South Korea, I know they had chances in the beginning, but since then, they never threatened us. So big up to South Africa.
South Africa qualified, Australia qualified. We're doing good.
Yeah, we are doing good, man. So CN says we need a new goalkeeper. Mike Penders needs to go and go another loan. He might ready start us back. Don't even have a goalkeeper. Only a second choice goalkeeper. No, actually they are going to sign a new goalkeeper from one of the teams they've been playing with in the Conference League. So that's good for them. But in terms of Mike Penders, I want him to stay Chelsea next season. And then we sell Petrovic. Seems like he wants to leave. So let's see what is going to happen. For me personally, let's keep Mike Penders. So do you agree with me, Dante?
Yeah, not Petrovic. Petrovic is gone. You mean
No, yeah,
Jorgensen? Maybe
not Petrovic. Yes, I mean Philip Jorgensen.
Jorgensen.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Jorgensen, he said he wants to leave as well, because we've talked about that on Chelsea Perspective and on here before. He wants to start somewhere because he needs to, so he can be number one goalkeeper, going forward for Denmark. So yeah, he's going to be sold. So I think they probably might have, if he was still here, maybe they would have kept Penders maybe another season. But I think that accelerated a little bit, and he's going to definitely come. And yeah, look, it's a good experience. He needs to come. He'll learn. I think you actually can learn quite a bit from Sanchez. Sanchez is, experienced goalkeeper now, so that'll probably help him. And Sanchez is the type of character that doesn't mind that. He'll help. We've seen him even help Jorgensen a lot. So I think that will only do him good. And at least he can get used to the life a little bit in England. The weather are different, and play some cup games. No pressure. I think it's better that way.
Yeah, 100%. Pius is staying. Dante, when is Coachella coming back? Yeah, he told me. Yeah, he needs to ask him, but I won't tell you the specific date or day, but he told me somewhere next week. But that's the thing with Coachella. He might be busy with something. So if he's busy with something, it's so hard for him to come back.
Let me put it this way. He said 3 weeks ago that it'll be a week, and that's 3 weeks ago. So
that's the thing.
It's a TBD for Coachella. TBD, to be determined.
Big up, Jay. How are you, bro?
Big up, Davigo. Big up, Dante.
Hey, Jay.
You know what? I have a conspiracy theory about why Coachella is not here. Both your countries have qualified and are participating in the World Cup. Nigeria is nowhere to be seen. I think he wants to avoid those questions, and hence why he's not to be seen anywhere.
Yeah, no, he's put those rumors away. That no, it's nothing to do with that with the Nigeria. I thought I gave him a little bit of stick about that, weeks back. But no, he's not like that. He doesn't with Nigeria. He doesn't, much. He's not into it that much. So it's not that. No, it would be good if it was that, but it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, on the other side, USA is doing good, so win-win.
Yeah, right. And I said USA.
I don't think he cares about USA much, to be honest. I don't think he cares much at all about USA, to be honest. So, no, it's not USA either. Yeah, especially without the manager there as well. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pochettino. Oh my gosh, I forgot. But they've been doing very well, USA, so I have to give them some credit, as much as I don't like their head coach.
Yeah, they did well, but really, I don't think they're going to get much further. That's it. That's it. Finish. And I knew Turkey would beat them as well. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but Turkey had a disappointing World Cup performance
because very disappointing. But hey, it doesn't. It's good for Australia. It was good for us. So But I knew they were going to beat USA. I just knew it. They're going to turn up and going to beat USA in that last game, and that's exactly what happened. So anyway, they qualified, but I don't see them going past when the pressure is going to be on now. So the teams they're going to come up against, I don't see them going very far. USA, it's they just they had a pretty good group, really. They had a pretty good group. Australia, obviously, Turkey was supposed to be better, but Turkey's been disappointing for a while now, to be honest. So, and Paraguay, Paraguay, they don't really create nothing. They just defend. They don't do nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that they're always going to finish at the bottom of the group, unfortunately. But yeah, look, I'm just happy Australia's through. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Australia did actually quite good. The group was not that easy, especially when it was initially seen. I thought it would be Turkey and the USA just because of their form. I didn't really give a chance to Australia. Maybe the best third place team, but yeah, not directly. So kudos to them.
Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah.
I thought they would qualify. Like I said, Paraguay, Turkey. I knew we've played them in the past quite a bit, and we've always done well against Turkey. So I knew we'll probably qualify. I was pretty confident we'll probably qualify that second, if not third, anyway. So no, we did well. I'm disappointed against USA, but we had a few good chances there, and the referee it was very much on USA side in that game. The referee, some really bad calls in that game. I thought it was Chelsea for a second that game, to be honest, the way the referee called that game. And so, yeah, they were quite lucky, USA, to get away with that win against us, to be honest. So, yeah, none of those in that group, none of the teams are really good. I mean, even Australia is not very good. We're very good defensively, but we're not that good. So, yeah, we're not going to get far, obviously. I don't think we'll probably get to the next round, but that's enough that's a win. That's enough.
Yeah, 100%. Sani says, Dante, do you see this being Robert Sanchez last season? Then Mike Pendes will be fully become number one in the 2027-28 season.
Look, that's the plan is to integrate him, obviously slowly. Like I said, with Jorgensen leaving, well, he's going to come in. Maybe he was going to stay another season at Strasbourg if Jorgensen maybe didn't leave, but they're going to bring him in. It won't be bad because he probably won't play as much because we don't have any European football. He'll still probably get the cup games early on anyway, but I think it's still to be determined, that one. We really need to see a bigger sample size of Penders. It was very much like Petrovic. Don't forget, Petrovic went to Strasbourg. Most of the Chelsea fans were saying, he's doing so well there. Well, we kind of knew, me and Tobago, watching it. Most of the fans don't watch Strasbourg. We watch Strasbourg. So I knew he'd probably come back. He won't. It's not the same. Premier League is not the same as French League. The keepers look much better there, but that's because of the style of the gameplay there. It's very different. So like Petrovic, it didn't cut it out. So yeah, look, I expect him to, if it's going to happen, probably a year or two, he would be the number one, but he's got to earn that. He's got a lot to do to get over Robert Sanchez first, because I honestly don't see him starting over Robert Sanchez, not anytime soon. I think Robert Sanchez, especially with Alonso coming in now, where he doesn't need Sanchez to play with the ball that much. Well, Sanchez can be at his best. He can be at his best, saving and doing what he does best, high claims, etc. Doesn't need to play with the ball that much at his feet, so he's not going to have those mistakes.
Yeah, I said the same thing about the goalkeeper under Xabi Alonso, because their goalkeeper at Bayer Leverkusen, he was horrible in my opinion. But again, the success was nothing to do with their goalkeeper, because at the end of the day, they're playing very well.
Yeah, he was horrible with his feet, you mean, not a horrible keeper. He was a very good keeper, but very bad with his feet. Yeah.
100%. Big up, Myra says, big up, legend. As always, I hope your guys are well. Yeah, we are well, Myra.
Yeah.
Myra, the rapper. My South
African.
African.
Contrary to the majority of the fans, I am actually not that impressed with Penders. I know he's very good with his, feet, and he's good with the ball at his feet, and his passing, and under pressure he's quite good. That is one of his qualities that is really famous for. And obviously, I can't fault him at his age. He's very young and he's developing, so it might be justified for him to be like that. But I have seen a few of the highlights and a few matches as well, in which I've seen, him making some mistakes. I don't really believe his shot stopping is, to the elite level. I still consider Sanchez quite high in terms of in the category of shot stopping. So, yeah, for me, I find it wild for people who thinks that Sanchez will be the second goalkeeper and Pendas is going to be the undisputed number one starting the season. I think it's going to be the opposite one, and I think with the improvement in our defense line, with the characters and the players that we are looking to buy, and obviously a fit Levi Colwill, I think it's going to help Robert Sanchez massively, and I think we can see, the best of Robert Sanchez that we actually saw in the first half of the season. But I think we can see and expect Robert Sanchez to be at the top of his game. At least I am very much hopeful, and I think the defense line improving would have a lot of credit to that. So yeah, for me, Robert Sanchez has to start as the number one, and I don't think it will be easy for Pendas to remove him or displace him as the number one. I think for the whole season, it's going to be a case of Robert Sanchez as number one, and maybe Pendas getting his chances here and there in the cups and against lower opponents.
Yeah, I agree with you. He needs to be integrated. We just can't give him the number one spot. Chelsea is not Strasbourg or Genk or some smaller team, unless maybe if he get a proper loan in the championship where he's going to be a number one, but not at Chelsea at the moment. He's still too young for that. Yes, I know. Likes of Dida, Donnarumma, De Gea, Man United, they were number one, but again, I don't want to take that risk at Chelsea. Myra
He'll
says,
get his chance. He'll get his chance because, yeah, and let's not forget, even in the last couple of seasons, Sanchez always missed at least 2 or 3 games for injury. He hasn't missed much, but he's had a couple of injuries, so he'll get a chance. And if he does everything right in training, and Sanchez struggles, or injury, he'll get his chance. And if he proves it, he might grab it and keep it. You never know. Yeah, look, Pendas is a very good shot stopper as well. Let's not forget, he's a very tall, very athletic guy. He's a very good shot stopper.
he's vocal, he's a leader as well.
Yeah, so he's got all the talent. He's got everything. I actually think this will help him coming maybe a little bit early because he'll get used to the life. Like I said, Robert Sanchez will take him under his wing as well, and he will learn a lot from Sanchez as well. So that will really help him as well. But yeah, I don't see him taking over. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe. When's Sanchez contract actually? Oh no, Sanchez is to 2030 his contract. So it's not like his contract's coming to the end. Sanchez has still got 4 years on his contract to go. So yeah, look, he's got to prove himself when he gets his chance, and we'll go from there. That's fine. I think it's good for him to be number 2 at the moment and learn and get used to the lifestyle, etc.
100%. Guys, if you're watching, please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. Myra says Binders will get cooked by the corner shots from McGinn. Lunde guy. No, I don't think it's that bad. Says I agree with Jay. I think signing a good defenders like Lacroix will improve Sanchez 100%. I think now we are targeting taller center backs. Just the way I was by Leverkusen were playing under Xabi Alonso, they had 3 tall center backs, and it was so hard for them to lose aerial duels because sometimes it's so good to have players that dominate aerially. So let's see, man. So far, so good. But let's go to this player, Alex Scott. Since Alex Scott is a player that is appreciated by Chelsea. So if we sell Enzo Fernandez, Jay, would you like Alex Scott to replace him at Chelsea? Do you like him as a player?
Yeah, I think these are two separate questions. would I like him at Chelsea? I think he can be a good option. He can be a really, really good option. But is he a direct replacement of Enzo Fernandez, or the one that starts with Moses Caicedo? For that, my answer would be no. I'm looking for a very specific type of midfielder who can, work in that pivot with Moses Caicedo, which Xabi Alonso likes to play, and he can, finally, now that unfortunately Enzo is going to leave, and we were in a situation where Caicedo had to limit himself and help Enzo put forward his skills more. But now we are in a position where Enzo is going to leave. Then I think finally the opportunity has arrived where we can actually explore the hidden qualities of Moses Caicedo, which is very much fruitful for us, which can prove fruitful for us. And we have seen glimpses of that in his national side, Ecuador as well, where he can progress in the forward line, he can make the passes in the final third, and he had that excellent vision as well. But just because he had a player like Enzo Fernandez, by no means I am criticizing Enzo, but somewhere you have to, help each other. And in that partnership, it was Caicedo more staying back and allowing Enzo to do the job, and which Caicedo was limited. So for me, ideally, I want a midfielder in that partnership who now allows Caicedo to do that job, which I think he can do it very fantastically. So yeah, I want someone who can stay there, who's more of a DM, who can support the line, who can help defensively as well. The likes of Anderson would have been perfect, who has gone to City, would have been the perfect partner in my eyes. And also Real Madrid, Chouamani, I think he would have been perfect as well. So these are the type of guys that I want Caicedo to be placed within that pivot. I don't think Alex Scott can do the job. I think, again, we will lack a bit more defensive errors with that partnership of him and Alex Scott, Caicedo and Alex Scott. But I would definitely have him as an option because he's really good. I would actually sacrifice Santos and Lavia easily if it means that we are to get Alex Scott. But as a starter with Moses Caicedo, I'm not really too sure about that. The same way I have doubts with Adam Wharton with Caicedo, I have similar doubts with Alex Scott, and I would say I have few extra doubts with Alex Scott because I'm very much particularly looking for that midfield partnership to work and gives us a perfect balance and help us defensively as well. So yeah, that's my overall thought.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Dante, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, look, Alex Scott is more of a box-to-box centre midfielder, so he's not gonna really work there in that position. We appreciate him. That's what the thing says, and I've seen that quite a bit. That just means he's on our lists there, but we appreciate him. It doesn't mean we're going for him or anything like that. But look, he's a good player, and the good thing about him, he's, like I said, he's a centre midfielder, box to box, but he can play the 10 very well as well. He can play in that 10 position, no problem, and very good at pressing. He covers the ground very well, so very technical as well. So he can do that. But like Jay said, he's not one that you want to sign to play next to. He's not a starter, in my opinion. He's not a starting type player to play next to like Caicedo or even in that 10, really, I don't think he'll be a starter, to be honest. So, that would probably be, he's got Palma, Estevao, etc. So he would be a great option, like Jay said as well. I would take him as well as as a rotational piece, etc. Because, like I said, he can be quite versatile. He's got the speed, he's got the technical ability. He can play 8, he can play 6 if you're going to have a big guy next to him to protect as well, to screen everything. So he can do it. But it's not really his forte. He's more of a box-to-box guy. So I think, and that's why we've seen these reports that we appreciate him. We like him, but he doesn't really fit that well, to be honest. It doesn't fit and doesn't make any sense. You got Lavia, you got Santos, we got Barco now as well. It doesn't really make much sense, to be honest. And not Bournemouth. They're in Europe. They don't want to sell. They're not going to want to sell anything like that. And I think that's all it is, appreciation. Nothing more than that. I don't think he's leaving Bournemouth. He's going to be there starting. They're playing in Europe, like I said. So he's not. And if they are going to lose him, they're going to want ridiculous money, like we saw Anderson, etc. They're going to want 100 million probably for him. They're going to ask now as well. So there's no point.
Yeah, 100%. Myra says, Alex. Yeah,
I've
ahead,
just seen David Ornstein's report on Elliot Anderson and just guess the wages he has agreed with Manchester City. It's bonkers.
I don't really understand that deal, to be honest. That's just it's a ridiculous deal, and it really screws the market really bad. Well, I guess it might help us with the Enzo sale. It will help us, but it's not going to help us if you want to buy Wharton, for example. It's not going to help us at all.
Yeah, it will obviously going to affect every other deal. Maybe us in a positive way if we are going to sell Enzo Fernandez, but it will, as you mentioned, could negatively affect Wharton deal as well. But yeah, the fees is obviously crazy for him. But the wages, I've just seen the wages report. He's on 300K per week. And that's pounds. Crazy.
Yep. That's ridiculous. I mean, what's he done? What's he actually proved? What has he done? What has he accomplished? They nearly got relegated as well. It's not like, and he's one season. He had one good season, and they nearly got relegated. So, is it really that good of a season? So I don't understand that deal. If I was other clubs, I would complain about that deal, to be honest, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem fair, like market value fair at all. And like you said, that really ruins the market. But I mean, that's a ridiculous amount. First of all, the fee, but then the wages as well. Okay, the wages, whatever they want, but that fee, something doesn't seem right about it. It's just way too over the top.
Yeah, 100%. Myra says Alex Scott is not a bad player, but I think it is better to get someone who will complement Caicedo so well, especially when Caicedo plays deeper for us. And then CN says, get me Manya, because Sanchez is inconsistent. He's a third choice goalkeeper at best. There's a reason why he was dropped by Brighton.
Come on.
Can we talk about Magna?
I mean, I think he's proven himself how good he is when he doesn't play with obviously to make those mistakes when he's not asked. But if you're going to play him as a proper goalkeeper and keep the ball playing minimal, he's a top 3 goalkeeper in the Premier League. He's he's one of the top goalkeepers in the world. If you're going to ask him just to be a goalkeeper, he's not a bad goalkeeper at all. Not a first choice goalkeeper. And Brighton, that's a long time ago now, 4 years ago, when he got dropped. And we didn't pay that much for him. And he's on people understand, Robert Sanchez is not on big wages. He's on a very low wage. He's actually a very low wage. So I think 60. He's on 60K per week. So for the way he is, that's a very low wage. I think he's one of the top goalkeepers in the Premier League. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I don't understand this slander. Yeah, we all had a go of him when he made those mistakes. We thought he's going to get on, but then he actually rectified it. And I think he should have earned the respect of the Chelsea fans, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it.
I agree with you. I think, first of all, I think he had a terrible start, and I think he deserved the criticism that the fans gave him because he was quite bad in the initial year. But I think last season he was top 2 or top 3 till the point where Rosinho made that experiment and everything went downhill from there. But I think till that point he was top 2, top 3 behind Raya and one other goalkeeper. So he was doing quite well. So yeah, I don't mind him at all. But can we talk about Maignan? My God, whenever I have seen this guy, whenever I've seen highlights about this guy, he has been terrible. So bad at shot stopping. I don't know how he has made a big name for himself.
He's stagnated. He's very much stagnated. He hasn't improved. He's a very, very good ball-playing goalkeeper, but he forgot the rest of the other stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, for AC Milan and for France in the recent World Cup, I think in the first game for France, his near post, activity is so questionable. So I hope we don't go for him now.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also with Maignan, if we should have signed him, I think we should have been the last summer before he signed a new contract, because I think AC Milan wanted around 15 million. Chelsea said no way, less than 10 million, and then he signed a new contract. So if you want him right now, it's going to cost more. So I don't
But
think
I
we're
think if
going
you
to
look at
start.
it, I think actually Chelsea analyzed that pretty well. He's been really bad, like especially after since that. So that's why they didn't want to pay for him, probably to risk it. They didn't want to risk it. So if it was really low, they probably were thinking of it. But in a way, it's a good decision that we didn't go for it because you're going to be stuck because he's not a guy that will be on 60K a week like Robert Sanchez. That's for sure. He's not that type of
100%.
goalkeeper. So yeah, you'll be stuck with him then. So yeah, definitely, I prefer Sanchez over him. I actually even prefer Penders over Mike Maignan in the Premier League.
Yeah, Mara says bring the truck as long as I don't see Baco, CDM, or CCM. The only problem is that it's now harder to find a reasonable profile for Enzo replacement. Let's wait. Chelsea can surprise us. I don't think it's hard to get a replacement. I think the market is so vast at the moment because it seems like every player now is worth around 100 million. So we need to be careful as well. And
Yeah,
say
sorry.
since
Let me add to that, Kutabego. There is no replacement for Enzo Fernandez. There's no replacement because you're not going to replace. He's a unique player. You're not going to replace Enzo Fernandez. We can get different type of players, but you're not going to have a Enzo Fernandez replacement because there is none. There's no player like him, to be honest, like that. So you're not going to get. He's unique. You're not going to get exactly an Enzo Fernandez replacement.
yeah, I agree with you. And then also, since Anderson went to City, when are they going to see Manchester City getting relegated? 115 charges. It is not fair. They're always inflating the market. It says, as much as I hate Sanchez, we won't see him leaving in anytime soon. We once had Kepa as our number one. Who knows? He might reach his peak under Alonso. Let's see. Big up to Siakala, South Africa. It's been a while, bro. Long time. Says good afternoon, everyone. Peace and blessing. Viva Chelsea.
Big up, Siaka. I hope you've been well.
It's been a while, no, not seeing Siaka. Wow. But now I want to talk about this player that Chelsea is having medical. Maybe today, as the report says, breaking Marco Palestra to Chelsea. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties. Atalanta to receive package over 55 million fee plus selling clause, long-term deal to Italian talented right wing back. Chelsea hijack Inter Milan and move. I mean, get a new talent for Xabi Alonso. Overall, Dante, what are your thoughts about Marco Palestri?
Yeah, I like him as a player a lot. He's very, very, very unique. There's again, I was saying about there's no player like for the wing back position. There's no player like him. You don't have players like him on that wing back position do what he does defensively, but also
Technical.
offensively. Left foot with his right foot, his dribbling, his take ons. He's got absolutely everything. Especially for his age as well. Like he's not a teenager, so he's not that young. He's 21, so it's a good age. That's a pretty good age. At least he's past those teens, which is good. He's not quite a teenager. He's got a bit of. He's an international for Italy as well. He's going to be the starting, probably that guy there for Italy as well going forward. So yeah, I think it's a great coup. It's a very, very good get because how unique he is and what he can do for us, and especially in a system that Alonso prefers and how he uses his wing backs, how important they are. Well, this guy is going to be very, very important for Alonso. He definitely had a big input on, going for him, and I don't think Chelsea had any problem because they probably would have gone for him anyway. Because, like I said, all the talent he is, the age, the salary, the potential. I think they probably would have looked at him anyway, but especially for an Alonso system in that right wing back, can play left wing back if you want, can play right back. You can probably even put him as a right winger. That's how good he is taking on players. And that's when you're better, when you've got a left foot and a right foot and you can dribble either side. Well, that really takes away the defenders, thinking like a Noni Madueke. You know what Madueke is going to do. He's left-footed. He doesn't do nothing with his right. You know how to defend him. You know what to do with him. With this guy, and that's why his numbers are so good taking players on. He's got better take on numbers than for a wingback than a lot of the wingers in the Europe. You know, like a lot of Mbappe and all these Vinny and all these really good wingers in the world. He's got better numbers than them taking players on. So that is because he's so unpredictable. And to be unpredictable, that's the type of player you want because he keeps defenders, etc., midfielders, whatever. They don't know what he's going to do, what his next move is, and you're already putting that in the back of their mind. And when they look at film, that's exactly what they will. They will not know what he's going to do. And I think he's a big coup, especially that Inter Milan wanted to pay 50 million for. Inter Milan don't want to pay that much for anyone, so they wanted him for that much money. Well, that tells you how how much they really want it. I'm actually surprised that no other big clubs were in for him. I just don't think they have the money. Madrid was kind of looking in, but they went for Dumfries, obviously, cheap option plus a very, very good player as well. Mourinho doesn't like young guys anyway, so I think that saved us because I think he probably would have gone to another bigger team. Most of them done a lot of their business already, and a lot of them don't really play with that wing back anymore. So yeah, look, I think it's a great coup. And I think, Alonso had a big hand in that because that's your perfect system player for how he likes to play.
Yeah, 100%. And also another thing, right? Inter Milan wanted to pay this kid peanuts. He was earning 5K at the moment, and Inter wanted to give him around 30-35 million. Chelsea.
Yeah, well, they can't afford it.
Chelsea will double that. That's it. And we double that.
Yeah, easy for us. That's easy, and even with doing that, it still falls well within our salary
structure. Yes. So Jay, what are your thoughts, bro, about this player? Hi, Jay Kings. Jay. Okay, I'll wait for him. Oh man, what a player, man! I haven't watched a full game, but again, I've watched some video clips. Oh my gosh, this kid is electrical, and he's still young, 21 years old, and he can improve to be a better player at that age, man.
And he's actually quite physical for his age. He's physical and quite tall.
And also got speed as well. His ball carrier
and speed. Yeah, he's very for the modern game. He's perfect. He's almost like one of these, PlayStation players. He's got all the stats are really over the top, but they're real. He's got a 93 dribble in the ratings, and that's up there with, like I said, all the best wingers in the world. So yeah, look, he's a great get, and yeah, definitely the height, the physicality. He goes hard in challenges. He doesn't pull out of challenges. He's not easily to get the ball off him. He probably can improve that. Obviously, he's 21. He hasn't got that strength yet, but he looked pretty strong to me. It was pretty hard people getting the ball off him because he stays upright, and he's got a pretty strong physical frame for his age. So I think he's actually that will going to help him a lot in the Premier League, being that physical as well. And we know one certain person, Bobby, will be very happy that we've got a winger over 6'1".
I said the same thing in the group that Bobby, you like this kid because he's physical as well. And then Bobby always moaning about physical players. So I think Bobby will love this kid.
Yeah, and the way he plays, like I said, he goes hard in challenges, doesn't get pulled out of challenges. And that's going to help him a lot in England. And that's going to help the crowd really get, like him from the start. Because in England, one thing they do like is going hard in challenges, tackles. Sometimes they celebrate those harder than goals, to be honest. That's how the crowd loves that. And that's because the pitch is so close. The pitch is so close to the, the stand in the stands is so close to the pitch. You can hear everything. And yeah, it really gets everyone going and the crowd going when a player like that plays and he goes in for challenges and, he's strong and he doesn't pull out of challenges. Well, I think he's going to be a crowd favorite as well.
100%. Jay, still there, bro. Mara says Dante spoke my mind about Pastry, a good player. And then also since you remember the Robert Sanchez got injured against Everton in the 2023, then Petrovic become number one. The same way I see happening with Mike Pendes. Well, if that is the case, that means it's not a bad thing as well, as long as Mike Pendes will do some good work for us. Says PlayStation player, he's probably an 85 rated, I'm sure. 100%, man. What a signing! He's a gem. That's why I've been saying the same thing. The reason why PSG are so good is because they can find small, young age players, but again, they are gems as well. So I think that's why the PSG recruiter, who's that guy, Luis Campos, is so good because they're buying kids, but again, they are so talented as well, and they got their money, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, and I think we can offer him a starting position from day one. You know, he's a starting player for a big club like Chelsea. If the other teams, some of them maybe might say like a PSG came in or something, they might not be able to offer him that. So, yeah, look, I think Inter Milan probably would have offered him the same, but then, like we said, the money as well, that's helped. But I think if someone bigger came in, like a PSG or someone, they can't offer him a starting position. They got players there already. So I think it's good timing. I think it's the right timing. And I think what's helped as well that we were very quiet about it. We didn't know about it. And the last moment they jumped in and got him straight away. So there was no one else involved. They knew Inter did all the work and he was going to Inter and staying in Italy. So they tried right at the last moment and it worked. And I think that's surprise as well. Yeah, look, and obviously Alonso calling him, speaking to him, promising him that starting position. That's probably, massive as well. And obviously the money helps. Obviously the salary helps a lot as well.
Yeah. As soon as he was linked to us before we signed him right now, I went and checked his profile. I say, oh my gosh, we need to sign this kid. He's a perfect profile for Xabi Alonso. But as time goes on, they said, no, his mind is on Inter Milan. I say, okay, now you're not getting this kid. Then after some few days, and then before you get him, I was like, no, we need to push. And I'm so happy that we got him finally because he's a perfect system player for Xabi Alonso, just like Jeremy Frimpong.
Exactly.
As well.
Yes.
So,
yeah, look, it's a great coup. Let's hope it all goes well. But I think it'll be pretty hard for him to fail at Chelsea in that system. Yeah. And the way he plays, I think it'll be pretty hard for him to fail, to be honest. I don't see it happening. Obviously, knock on wood, the injury is the only thing is injury that can probably, slow him down. But other than that, I think he's going to be quite a big star for Chelsea. I think he's going to be a very key player going forward.
Yeah, 100%. Ben Jacobson and Bernard Parishila says, I feel really interested I find really interesting because if the right offer come in, personally, I think Chelsea would entertain it. Yet for months and months, every time I've asked about Barishile, he's always the one Chelsea said his development is on track. So what are your thoughts about Barishile? Do you think he's going to stay for next season? Because like Ben Jacobs is right. We haven't had a lot of news about him linking away from Chelsea Football Club, just like Tosin.
Yeah, look, I think personally, in my opinion, it's probably time for him to go. Now, that will depend, like that report says, if someone's willing to put a bid in for him, we can probably send him on loan somewhere, no problem. But, I think Chelsea probably will sell him if the right offer comes in, or he will stay because he can still be a useful squad player. If he's not injured, obviously he's been injured quite a lot, which has been a problem, and he never gets a proper go at it. As in, he'll play 2 games in a row and then he'll either get dropped or injured. So we haven't seen for a long time. Obviously, when Thiago Silva was here, when he first came in, we saw him play, like he played a lot of games next to Thiago Silva, and he did extremely well. Like he was really good. We said, okay, here we got one for the future. You know, and he's quite tall as well, quite tall, quite physical. So we thought, okay, he's one for the future. He's learning from Thiago Silva. He's doing really, really well. And then unfortunately, we know he had that bad injury, and he came back. And he's kind of been lost. I think kind of stagnated, hasn't improved. Nothing's really happened. Then again, he'll get a bit of a go, look really, really good, and then get injured again, and then again he's out for a little bit. So yeah, look, it just depends internally what they think, and if they say that his development is on track, you know, that's a positive thing for Buddy Ashil, because that means he's quite favored internally, and they might see him, you know, just waiting to burst out and really, you know, take that next step. Now, can that happen? It can happen because he's not that old. He's still young. His body's changing, and I think this year as well, I think he's put on a couple of kilograms. I've seen him beef up quite a bit. He's looked much stronger, much bigger. So I think he's got the strength now. He's got the height, definitely, because he's very tall as well. He's got the strength now. He's actually very good. He's pretty good at passing the ball. He's not bad on the ball either. I just don't know where his head is or his IQ of the game. That is the problem. The other stuff, off-field stuff, etc. So, yeah, look, I think it's another one of those. We have to wait and see if we're able to sell maybe some of the other ones. Well, we still need some backup, especially if we're going to play with 3 center backs. Well, that just means you need at least minimum 6 center backs that you need to have on the list, because you got to basically have 3 backups for the 3 starters. So you know, he might be one of those that just stays in because one, we can't get the move, or they really think he might take the next step. But personally, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I think he probably has had his time, and I think if we can find a deal and find a upgrade, I think we should take it. But I think that will depend a lot on what happens in the market and who goes for him and who we can sell and who we're buying, etc.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. We need at least. Oh, you're back, bro. Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you about Marco Palestri move to Chelsea. What are your thoughts about the player? And then, are you happy that we signed him?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really, really exciting signing. And you know, the mood in the fan base is also representing that. After quite a while, it feels like we are signing a player which is, you know, quite synonym with the manager and how he wants to play. So I'm really, really excited with the fact that Alonso has been pretty much involved and his desirable player is here. It is really good, as Dante mentioned a few facts about him. You know, quite close to become a winger, dribbling 93, 94. That's amazing for a wingback or fullback to have that metric. It's amazing, really. So yeah, he's going to do really well, and I think he will suit the system pretty much. I think he will give us quite a few assists this season, hopefully. He's physical as well. Really gets into his duels as well. So that's a very important part. He will increase the physicality of the team, whether it's on the right or the left. If he's on the right, then it's really good. He's going to, you know, give rest to Reece James, which is very much required because he's injured again. And maybe Reece James can relax in that right centre back position, and he can do the duty as a right wing back. And maybe, you know, if Reece James is fit again, perfectly doing well, then we can have a pairing of Reece James on the right wing back and, you know, Palestra as the left wing back. So that would be amazing as well. So overall, he's really good. I think going forward, he's going to give us a lot of assists, and he can score some goals as well. His dribbling is very well. He's quite physical, as I mentioned. A few negatives. If you're going to, you know, go in the details and look for the negatives, I think he's not good aerially, which is one part that I want all our new signings to have. You know, good metrics and good standards, but he's not that good aerially, which is a bit concerning. But And I think overall defensively as well, he's not that great. So I've seen a few clips and few compilations and all. Going forward, he looks so good. He has all the possible, qualities to create attacks and even finish them. But while defending, he gets beaten easily, quite easily, in situations of 1v1. So he would require a lot of help, and no one better than Reece James. If Reece James is playing as a right centre back and he's as your right wing back, then I think uh, he can relax and he can focus on that attacking
Jay,
part.
what's the award he won in Italy?
Yeah, best defender, I think.
So I mean, he can't be bad. Not that good defensively. He's one of the best the best defender in Italy. So that takes some doing. I know what you say.
Look, I would compare him to Alexander Arnold. He was termed as one of the best
No, he's much
defenders.
better than
It is
Alexander
because
Arnold. He's a much better defender than him. Much better.
it's because they are playing a position which is termed as defensive, and hence why they are going to win those awards, because he is doing so good things while going forward, and that is why it's hard to ignore him for the defensive. And he's not terrible, but he's not that great. If you are going to compare his attacking qualities to his defensive qualities, then you will find a gap. He's really good going forward, but he's not that great. I have seen a few videos. Maybe it was the compilation was the few compilations that I've seen. Maybe those were made with focus of
Correct.
just
Yes, I know what you're
representing
talking
and
about.
showing
Those
his
comps. Yep.
yeah
They were
showing
made
his
to show, yeah,
weaknesses.
that he's not perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so that can be a part, but I think that Alonso and Chelsea do not want really defensive qualities from him. I
No.
think they have specifically picked him for the attacking part only. So I don't really mind it, because I think it's a very, very, very precise choice, and they know exactly what he's going to give them. And if, as I mentioned, that if he's going to play predominantly on the right wing back, then Reece James as your right centre back, then he does not need to worry about the defensive, problems at all, because Reece will be there to help him in those situations. He will be right behind him, and together, I think they can handle things pretty well. And we are improving our defensive line overall, so I think that can also mitigate those things. But yeah,
And just with the aerial
I've just
drills,
seen.
Jay, you said, I think they're 43% is aerial drills, but that's because he plays as a wing back, and they don't really. I think we spoke the same about what's his name, Cambiasso. He had the same kind of stats.
Yeah.
If you look at wing backs have because they don't have enough area. They don't have many aerial stats, to be honest, because they're so wide out of the field. So it's a small number, so the percentage is going to be much lower because it's a small number. The higher the number, obviously the percentages are higher. So that's why the numbers. But he's actually very good in the air. I've seen him. Probably seen some of the goals he scored with his head. He scored quite a few goals with his head as well. So headers from set pieces, etc. So he actually is very good in the air from what I've seen. But with all wing backs, the numbers are low because that's just how the metrics are, and it's going to be very low because there's not enough numbers. So yeah, I don't think there's a problem with him aerially at all, to be honest. I think that's another one of those things where the stats are some of those stats don't make a bit quite full sense, if you know what I mean. They're a bit distorted because of that.
Yeah. And he's quite young. He's just 20 or 21. The good thing with being young is that the good thing is being this young is that your development is going to happen with the coming years. So he can improve the defensive part or the aerial drills part. I think he can perfectly improve that. It's not like he's 26 or 27 and there is no scope for improvement now. I think he's going to develop.
And I was actually, when we signed him, I'm like, let's hope if he's 19, I would have been worried about him because you still grow 19, 20, 21, you're still growing. And the way he plays, I think that could have been, but he's past that. So actually happy that he's 21 already, going on to 22, he'll be next season. So, I think that's a big positive because if he was, especially for injury wise as well.
Yeah, 100%. Myra says, guys, I didn't think we would get him. Thank you for the pool, Xabi Alonso. Also says, I don't trust Barishile because the guy will get injured and disappear when we are trying to get rid of him. He needs to go. We gave him a chance, and that's all we got from him.
Maybe that's why we're keeping it quiet. We're not going to say anything because we've said every time when the transfer window came up, and he would get injured every transfer window. So maybe we're keeping it hush hush at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Al Hassan Conte. Says good afternoon, guys. How are you all? Yeah, well, good. Thanks, bro. How are you? And then it says, what do you think about Michael Jackson, Dante? I'm going to be back, bro. Don't worry. Let me just take this call.
Who? Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it says Nicholas Jackson.
Nicholas Jackson or Michael Jackson?
Nicholas Jackson. Talk about Jackson.
Okay, he's talking about Jackson. Okay, because there is that manager now, isn't he? The manager's Michael Jackson. One of the teams came up, I think. I can't remember which one, but anyway, so that's why I'm a bit confused. Michael Jackson or Nicholas Jackson? If it's Nicholas Jackson, I don't know. Look, he would suit what Alonso would like. Link up, etc. Go wide, stay central, drop back. He would probably really work, but I just have a feeling that maybe that bridge might be a little bit burnt with Chelsea, to be honest. So I think if they get a offer for him that they're happy with, I think they move Nicholas Jackson on. To be honest, I don't see him staying. I think it'll be pretty hard for him to stay. First of all, we don't have Europe as well. I think that comes into it. Maybe then we would have, maybe we could try, but I don't see him staying with Omega coming in as well. A different profile of striker. And Omega's quite good at what Jackson does as well. The dropping deep, but he's got the physicality and he's a better finisher than Jackson as well. So, yeah, look, it's an interesting one, but I think those bridges might have been burnt from him and his agent, etc., with the fiasco that kind of went on. So I think if we get an offer for him, I think they'll probably pull the trigger and sell him. To be honest, I don't see him getting reintegrated into the team. I know a lot of people want that, but I just don't see. I think if we go by sort of Clear Lake, Luco, whatever you want, how they the players that if they something they do wrong and they don't really want to kind of be here in a way, or the way he left, etc. I don't think they're too keen on players like that. I don't think they'll keep him because of that. I think the offer, he's gone, and if not, they might put him on loan again if they can't sell him. But I think they will be able to sell him. We got a massive loan fee from 15 million plus. I think it was plus a little bit more because they won, the league as well, etc. So we got another 3 million on top of that, I think, as a bonus as well, something like that. So we got like a massive loan fee, the biggest ever loan fee there ever was for him as well. We didn't buy him expensive either. He's basically almost at even, to be honest, if you do the numbers after those loan fees, etc. So if an offer comes in, I think they sell him. I think it'll be very hard for him to get integrated back into the squad. I don't see it happening. In my personal opinion, I don't see it happening. I could be wrong, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Look, ideally, ideally I would agree with you that the thing that has happened in the past. I think there is some cold blood between both the parties, and doesn't feel like there could be a integration and a chance where they can come back. But I do not feel that the briefs that we are hearing for a while now from both the sides, that the club wants to give him an opportunity because there is a change in manager. Maresca is not here, who kind of gave up on him and all those things. And Xabi Alonso, as the new manager, wants to test him in the preseason. And the same thing we are hearing from his camp as well, that the player is excited to prove himself to the new manager as well. So he's he's open to getting back to Chelsea as well. I think there's a reason for all these briefs and all these news, and I think there must be some discussions that has happened between the club and the player. So I think there could be a chance. At least I'm pretty sure. At least I'm sure that in the preseason we are going to see Jackson play for the club. What happens after that is something is going to be on the performance and the need of the player in the team. So it's not going to be because of of what happened in the past. Personally, I think that both the parties have forgotten that, and since there is a new manager, I think it will be all down to is he useful for Alonso in the upcoming season, and will he get ample opportunities for for the player and his agents to also think that it's worthwhile to stay at Chelsea. So I think there is a chance we are going to see him in the preseason. What happens after that is totally on the manager and the player, how they are going to look forward for the
Yeah,
upcoming season.
I'm not too sure we'll even see him in the preseason, to be honest. I have my doubts about that. The stuff that's said, he has to say that. His camp has to say that. They have to say that because if they don't, it looks really bad uh, for other clubs interested, etc. That's not a character you want. So he has to say that. The club kind of have to say that as well because they're not going to say, no, we don't want him. The bridge is burned. We don't want him because then you have no power at all in the transfer, or the clubs will come that want him with a really, really, really low fee because then they know 100% that So the way I look at it, I think that's just the politics. That's how you got to what you got to do. What you got to do. For me, the truth came out when we recalled him back and what he said, when his agent said to me, that already spoke to me. That was where this stuff after now, this is normal. You have to. That's what you have to do. It's business, and you got to protect the asset. That's how it is for both parties, basically. So I don't. I would be very surprised if we see him in preseason. To be honest, I think they're gonna try to move him if they get the right offer. Yeah, I'll be, like I said, I'll be very, very surprised if we see him in the preseason. I don't think he'll even make it there, to be honest. But yeah, hey, I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if Tobago is back. I saw him back, but I'm not sure if he's back. Yeah, big up Al Hassan Conte. Where are you from? West Africa. Oh, yes, Sierra Leone. That's nice. Tobago, the host, is from South Africa there. I'm in Australia. Jay is in India. Is that right, Jay? Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. What part of India are you in, by the way? Which part?
I'm from the western part of India.
West. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, northwest. Have you been to India?
No, I haven't. No. I had one of my good friends, and he was my boss as well for a little while. He was from southern India, so very funny man, and yeah, very a lot of respect for him. So yeah, no, I don't know. As you know, there's quite a lot of Indians in Australia. It's quite,
Yeah,
it's
there's a huge
there's a lot of
population.
Indians here. So we've got neighbors. Obviously, there's a lot of Indians here. So they're quite integrated into Australian society. So yeah. No, so that's why I know a little bit because I had the boss. Yeah, he's from southern India, so I knew a little bit of that part from where he was. But that's all I know. I don't know pretty much the rest. Obviously, through the cricket, I learned a bit through the cricket. Obviously, the teams, etc.
Yeah, I had a few friends. They used to live in, I think, Hobart. I'm not sure where they are now, but yeah.
Damn, in Hobart, that's in Tasmania. That's all the way down, freezing cold there. It's so cold.
Is that island part, right?
Yeah, all the way down south. The next one is down Antarctica is the next after that, all the way down.
Damn.
So it's pretty cold there. They have summer is only like a month, and the rest is cold all the rest of the year. So yeah, damn, I'm surprised they went there. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, what do you think
Tobago
about
looks like he's not
Berger?
back. So let's continue with. Let's talk about Lacroix till he comes back. I talked a little bit about it. You didn't have it. So, what do you think of Lacroix as a signing?
Yeah, again, another impressive signing. And I think this one is more impressive for the fan base. I think there's more unanimous excitement among the fans for this signing more than the Palestra one. Obviously, because of his age and the Premier League experience, I think.
And they
Uh,
know him, yeah.
yeah, they know him as well. So yeah, exciting, really exciting. One of those defenders, old school. Tabigo as well. One of those old school defenders who's really physical, who do the dirty job that the old school defenders used to do. Yeah, and he's not that bad in his passing as well. I've seen again I've seen a few compilations. I don't know why his passing accuracy has been shown as in the low metrics, but whatever I've seen, it looks like he has been really precise, and he can start attacks with his long passing, which I'm not sure whether that can be useful for Alonso's system or that's how what Alonso wants, but he's got that thing in his armory as well. So overall, really good, really physical. Going into his prime years, 26 to 28, 29 is the prime peak years for a defender, and he's done really, really good in that Crystal Palace side as well. French international as well. So yeah, all the things really point towards him being a really good signing for us, who can hit the ground running and be a starter for us from day one. A bit discussion among the fans that which position is he actually going to play, because we associate Colwell with that centre back role, but Lacroix has also been playing that role for Crystal Palace. So it would be
That's where,
exciting
yeah,
to see.
same
It will
system
be
as well.
exciting
Yeah,
how they are going to do. Yeah, go on.
yeah, and it's the same system basically with the three at the back and the wing backs. That's how Palace play as well. So, and he's played that central role. I think Alonso, that central role, that's your more physical, stronger guy. Like he had what's his name at Leverkusen, the big guy that then went to Bayern.
Jonathan Tah.
Like he was a big, strong, physical, like similar, not the best on the ball, just like Lacroix is good on the, but not really. That's not his forte. It's more about where he had his left centre back and right centre back being the ball players more than anything. So I think he probably will play that CCV. To be honest, I think he'll be that central guy with
Do
probably
you
Colwell
do
left
you
centre
think we
back.
would be do you think we would be limiting Colwell by not playing him in that centre back role and maybe playing him
No,
from the
because
back?
it's not Maresca. It's not Maresca ball. It's not the same as Maresca. In the Maresca system, yes, but it's not the same as Maresca. That, like I said, the CCV is a little bit different in a Maresca system than Alonso system. Like he had Tar. That was not his primary objective. The other two were the passes. He was the big physical guy, tracking everything and tackling, etc. So I think, yeah, that's why I think he'll probably be that guy in there, and that's where he played at Palace as well, and that's where he was at his best at Palace as well, in a very similar system. So yeah, I think Cole will be that left centre back. He'll be that CCB, and obviously, if he gets injured or if he's on resting, he can play CCB and they can switch it around. So but so yeah, I think he'll be that CCB, to be honest. And I think he'll start there from day one.
He's
Yeah,
quite aggressive, For a centre back, it looks like he's quite aggressive. Maybe he had to control that part of his game if he's going to play for Alonso, because obviously the two wider centre backs are the one who are going to progress the ball, or maybe have a bit of carrying with the ball as well. As a
yeah,
centre back, he must be more stationary, which I've
Yeah,
seen from a few
defensive minded.
videos
He has
that
to.
he likes to go forward a bit and be more aggressive, which can sometimes be anti-productive as well. So maybe this is something he needs to work on.
100%. I'm good, thanks, and you, bro. Says, thanks. So, thank you very much for this wonderful program. Thank you. My my Allah bless you. 100%. I appreciate it, bro. Says, I'm from Sierra Leone, Freetown, the west of Africa. You're most welcome. Says, big up Austrian love.
Thank you,
It
Sean.
says, yeah, it says, okay, my pleasure to meet you guys. 100%. Pleasure to meet you as well. It says, Dante, what do you think about? Oh my gosh, this guy. Anyway, let me just read this quote. It says, Gabriel Goodman says, when he was asked about Chelsea move, says, of course, I'm happy. It's a sign that you are doing something right. But obviously, all my focus is on the national team right now. So that's all I can say. Yeah, I saw some reports that we had linked with this guy, Leeds United, Wimberg. So overall, what are your thoughts, guys, about this player? Do you think if we get an opportunity, should we sign him?
Don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how accurate those reports are, to be honest. It's nothing concrete. It's nothing, it's just a bit of a rumor at the moment. So I'm not quite sure. I think there's not much behind it at the moment, to be honest. So, and the way we're operating, I don't think that's the way we're operating this transfer window. We're not going to put it out there that we want him. If we did that, we probably would have already, I don't think they would have leaked that. So because of that, I'm not quite sure I believe it. I think it's more rumor, more a bit made up, because he's such a good system fit as well, obviously, etc. And I think that's just a bit of contractually wise as well. He's looking for a next contract from Leeds as well, and there's some other teams in Europe as well. So I think it's a bit of everything mixed together. And I think I'm not so sure we would have leaked that out to say, we were going after this player, because I don't think we're doing that right now. Even with, the Lacroix one, there's been some rumors, but again, we've kind of moved quickly, and the last 2 days it's just happened straight away. So I'm not sure about this one, to be honest. Fit wise though, he would fit that position, obviously, because that's he's a specialist wing back as well. Does it for his country as well, and for Leeds. Obviously, he's not a shiny name. He's not a shiny toy that a lot of fans would like or know too much about. But system-wise, he's a very good player and a very good fit for what he does. And like I said, he's a full international, starting for his country in that position as well. So he's got that on his side, and he looks a bit of a Alonso type of player in that position as well. So a bit more forward-minded as well. So I think it's just rumors at the moment, nothing more than that.
Again, I would agree with Dante. I think he's a bit underwhelming as a name, but I would agree with what Dante said, that he's one of those guys who's not really going to be a shiny name. He's not really going to be the most attractive player on the pitch as well. So, but I don't mind it. Look, with the few signings and the few transfer rumors that we're hearing, it's pretty much clear that Alonso is very heavily involved in the transfer. So if he really wants this player, I don't really mind him, and he's not that bad. The one thing that I remember about him was that he locked Estovao completely. One of the worst game of Estovao came when he faced this guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So
Yep.
he did really well in that game as well. And I've seen a few highlights during the season where he performed really good against Manchester United as well. And in that match, he was doing some really good crosses and overlapping runs as well. So good crosses and good attacking threat as well. So, and we have to remember, we have got some competitions on the left hand side. So Hato is also there, Barco is also there, and Quenda can play there. So it's not the end of the world if he turns out to be something poor, which I don't think. He's got a good experience in the Premier League as well, quite physical by the looks of it. But that's all about it, because as Dante said, there's not really any credible news or journalists reporting about him. I think it's just one random person.
Yeah, he's physical. He's quite physical. He's quite strong. He's a mature guy as well. He's 27 already. So yeah, he's got that physicality already. So yeah, but like you said, we've got Hato, we've got Barco that's coming. I'm not so sure about that one, to be honest. But yeah, system wise fit, he would do a good job. But yeah, I'm not really too sure.
100%. Myra says Lacroix is an excellent signing. Bobby will love him too. 100%. Says between Dante, I've watched Gunnarson last night. He's actually decent. Wow, they didn't see him on offensive work because he played as a center back in a back three. No, actually, he's playing as a wing back. So I haven't seen him playing as a center back. Mari might be right since you said you first him. Says I don't want to say he's better passer than Cucurella. No, I don't think so as well. But also, like your James mentioned, I don't think Chelsea will sign a left back right now, because we signed this kid. He can play as a left wing back, right wing back, left wing back, left, and also as a right back, left back as well. And also, if we're playing back three, I don't think we're going to use natural defenders as wing back. You might see one natural wing back. The other one might be a winger, maybe Nato or Quenda. So I think that's the balance as well. But anyway, let's see what is going to happen, because it's still too early to understand what is going to happen.
Yeah, it all depends what happens with Gusto as well. If Gusto stays, probably not. If Gusto leaves, we might look at it, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we have been linked with these cases. Players Chelsea are interested in Como centre back Jacob Roman. He's one of the centre back being considered. And then even Fabrizio Romano says Chelsea must sign 2 centre backs this summer. It all depends on outgoing. So will you guys love him as well if you sign him?
Yeah, look, I think we kind of tried a bit last season as well with him. Just a bit difficult because obviously Madrid, has his rights as well. It's another one of those Madrid has his rights, like a bit like like Nico Paz said. So Madrid, they kind of have his a little bit of rights there. I think they've got sell-ons, and it's not quite clear, but they've got quite a lot of
50% sell-on clause.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of interest in that as well. So, and I think they got a buyback on him as well, if I remember right. They got a really, they pretty tied him up pretty well with the deal they sent him there. It was one of the conditions they sent him there, just like they did with Paz, but probably for him more than Paz actually, because they put a buyback and, like you say, a sell on. So they covered every single base they can with him. So because obviously they saw his potential as well. So. But yeah, he too young for Mourinho. There's no way he's going back to Madrid because he's too young for Mourinho. He wouldn't play him. He's already signed his centre backs that he wants. So look, he would add. He's a ball playing defender. First of all, that's his strength. He's a ball playing defender. He's tall. He's not that strong because he's still quite lean, but he's very tall. So ball playing is his strength. He's very, very good with the ball. He can progress it. He can pass it. He can shield the ball. He's good against the press. So he's one of those that would play on the right hand side, or like we said, Lonzo likes that guy, physical guy in the center. Then the 2 on the sides to be the guys like Ramon, like Colwell, basically. So yeah, he would be on that right hand side. Will give you a bit of a different, more defensive structure instead of sort of James playing. Will give you a bit more running, a bit more attacking. This guy will give you more defensive structure, but also set piece. He's quite strong at set pieces because, like I said, he's very tall at defending them, and offensively, he's very good at it. I saw a lot of games where they use him as he gets to the ball first and flicks it on, into dangerous areas, and that's that causes a lot of trouble for defenses. So he's quite good at that as well. So yeah, he would suit very well. Again, like that report, and like you said, it depends. Like we talked about Badiashile. If we get an offer Badiashile, we can sell Badiashile. Well, then, Disasi is probably already going. Probably going to be gone. Badiashile, Disasi, Tosin maybe, but I actually see Tosin staying in my opinion because just that height, that is really good in the Premier League, and he's very good on the ball, Tosin as well. So, but he still could be sold because he's basically pure profit as well. We signed him for nothing. So, and if he wants to go somewhere where he wants to start, well, he probably might be sold as well. So we've got defenders we can sell, but I think we have to sell those and get offers for those first, and then I think the second CB will be definitely a bit more later on after we move some of those on and the new financial year as well. So. But I definitely think we're going to get a second centre back. I don't see Alonso settling for what we have. I think we're definitely going to get a second centre back. Who that is, we'll wait and see. But he's definitely, Ramon's definitely up there, I think, up in the list because of what he can do and the way he plays. He really would suit as well, and he's not that big of a name where he'll come in and he's expected to start every game and, to be like that big money signing. He wouldn't be that. He wouldn't be like 80 million. He's not going to be that type of. He would come in and he would actually, I think he can be a rotational player as well, play a lot, but also be a rotational player. So you need those players. So yeah, like I said, I can see probably James being that right centre back games, but then you can put him in other games to put him as the right centre back as well. So yeah, we need a player like that because otherwise it's going to be pretty hard. To be honest, I don't see James. You're not going to get if James is going to be that right centre back, which I think most likely who will be that, or one of the DMs as well rotating. Then yeah, I think you need someone else there, and especially again, I don't want to talk about James' injury again, unfortunately, but that could be a big issue going forward as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue because it seems like he's saving another hamstring. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm worried about James because if it's the same hamstring, I kept harping on about this the last year and a half. If he injures that hamstring that's been operated on and done again, well, could be not just an injury, it could be career threatening because once you rip that again, that's been surgically repaired, that is very extremely hard to overcome. Just because it's just percentages and from previous cases of people that have done that is really hard to come back from. Like I said, it could be career threatening as well. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. We don't know the exact details yet, which hamstring, what exactly happened, but not looking good.
Yeah, 100%. Before I give microphone to Jay, big up my bosses, big up Dante, Jay, and everyone in the chat. I'm excited for Chelsea signing the Crystal Palace player. I don't want to butcher his name. He is a good centre back with decent passing range and good defensive, and in the air as well.
Just butcher it like Coachella does all the names. Just butcher it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Come on, you know how to say it. Come on.
No.
Lacroix.
Yeah, no, not Lacroix. I know, but the first name.
Like a crow, yeah, Lacroix.
Yeah, but again, the first name. What is what makes what?
It just makes sense.
Makes sense. Oh, makes sense, Lacroix. Okay. Yeah, thank you. No, I need to go back to school. So, Jay, what are your thoughts about Jacob Ramon? Do you think it's a profile that we need at Chelsea?
Before really going on analyzing this player, I want to say that I don't want him here, or I want to specifically say that I don't want another defender, just for the fact that that would mean Joseph Chimpong is highly, probable to leave the club because signing two more centre backs, I think he goes further down the list, and his family and he himself is already frustrated with the game time, and I just don't want to lose such a highly talented defender who is for sure going to become a star, whether it's at Chelsea or at another club. So just for that fact, I don't want any other new signing at.
Yeah, but what does that tell you, Jay, about Achampong's ability?
I mean, we haven't really tested it. Do we actually know about his abilities? We haven't really seen it. It's all potential, and it's not like only Chelsea rate him. There are big clubs in Europe and in England as well. That really want him and are eager to pay money for him, heavy money for him as well. So there is obvious talent. It's undeniable. And look, I would actually sympathize with him. For the last 2 seasons, I don't think that the promises that has been made to him in terms of appearances and chances has been fulfilled to the extent that he should have deserved, and especially considering what our defense was last season and the type of players that were starting ahead of him, which in my personal opinion should not have happened. I don't think that the likes of Badiashile and Tosin, again, I'd say this is just my opinion, should have started a game ahead of Achampong, and to some extent for fun as well, because he's not really been flawless and the defender that we saw at Leicester as well. So there were many opportunities, many chances where he could have started, and players who are very less, talented than him in our squad did start more than him. So that is all my case.
Well, that's what I mean. What does that tell you? And it wasn't just one manager, by the way. If it was one manager, I could say okay, but it wasn't just one manager.
But
It
at the
was
same
three
time,
managers that did the same
yes,
thing.
I agree. I agree about the manager thing. But at the same time, you have to listen to what the club is saying. Constant briefs, constant news that they rate him, and he is one of those players. Along with Colwell, and in the centre backs, I have heard that Colwell and Joss are the ones who are untouchable. So these are the briefs that are coming from the club. Yes, the manager thing is true that a lot of the managers are not really playing him or trusting him. But at the same time, if the club is rating him, the whole of Europe, most of the big clubs are rating him. So we have to listen to that part also.
Well,
And we
the club's gonna rate him. Of course,
we
they're
need
gonna
a
say that.
manager. We need a we need a manager who's really going to trust him and give him the opportunity. Just send him on loan. I don't know why the loan thing has not happened yet. Last season he
Yeah,
could have been sent on loan. This season I think he can be sent on loan, but it has already been briefed in the what a few weeks ago that he is fully in the plans for Xabi Alonso. So another signing of a centre back would mean that he would definitely knock the door and ask questions about his departure, which I just do not want. Now,
Yeah,
other
and
than
yeah,
this fact,
that's why
yeah,
I want to point one point there. Centre back. He was talking about centre back, but he might not be playing centre back going forward.
in a back three, yeah, I think he could play the centre back role in a back three as a right centre back. Obviously, he's more preferred, or we have heard about him from his academy days that he's a full back or a wing back. But I think he can play that right wing back, right centre back role perfectly fine in a back three. So, and I think that would suit him more than the wing back role in the initial years of his development. But I think
All right,
that's
so let
just
me
my
put it to you
personal.
this way: Would you have Ramon or Achimpong as that right centre back?
Yeah, that was the second part I was just jumping on. If I'm being impartial, if I take away my partiality, if favorism for Josh Echampong, the talent that he
Yeah.
is, and if I take into consideration the instant impact thing that we are going to need next season, then Ramon is definitely going to help us more than Josh Echampong. This is when I consider that Josh does not exist and my impartiality towards him. So Ramon would suit us well. Ramon is going to give us more impact, and he is going to prove more helpful to us in the season. And Josh is definitely going to make mistakes. Josh is definitely not going to be trusted more than Ramon. And that is why I say that a loan would do a lot of help to him. But I don't know why the loan thing is not possible for him. Maybe he don't want to go on loan. I don't know what the nitty gritties are behind the scenes. But yeah, just that's the case about Josh Etchimpong. Other than that, talking about Ramon, I think he's a really talented guy. We have been linked with him in the past as well. He's got splendid ball playing ability. He's really tall, as you mentioned. He wins almost everything in the air. So these are the few things that we want from a centre back. I think we have a fetish at our club to, ask for ball playing centre backs, and we are in dire need to have a centre back or a player that can, help us out in the air, because we have players who just are not that tall enough or just does not possess the ability to be good in the air. So he would help us out in all those metrics, and I would want it. I think if we can get him for what, maybe 40 million. I think this is the sum that the Como is going to demand. Also considering that there's a 50% sell-on clause for Real Madrid, so that will hike the price up. So maybe 40 or 50. I don't know if that's high or low, but if we can get him for that fee, I would not mind it. And yeah, I don't think that it's a question about whether we need him. There is obviously always going to be a need of such a talented player. You have players like Reece James in your squad, who is undoubtedly one of the most talented centre backs or a defender that we have seen in the Premier League. But with that also comes the fact that he is one of the most injury-prone players as well, on which you just cannot depend. So that is where Ramon could come and help. And also we got Levi Colwell. Levi Colwell, as good as he is coming back from a very serious injury where he was out for the whole year. So you can't really be going into the next season and not plan for the reoccurrence of injury to Levi Colwell. I think there is a big possibility for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but you have to be ready for that, and that is where I think a signing like Ramon in addition to Lacroix, is going to help us. So yeah, this is what I think about him. Now these are the two separate things about Ramon and about Joss, but yeah, I don't know where to really stand on it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. For me personally, I said it last time, we should have launched Joshua and Chimpong to a team like Crystal Palace because they believe in young players, and also maybe to Strasbourg as well because it's a parent team. That means you'll get more minutes. So as much as I like Joshua Chimpong, he needs to go on loan. Remember under Roman Abramovich at Chelsea, as much as we had over 1,000 players on loan, but again, in terms of academies, we gave them a path where they're going to go on loan to championship clubs, to several leagues to develop as players. That helped them to progress as well. Just like Mason Mount was integrated to the first team, Kanakalaka, and also Rich James, because there's those loans in the championship or League One or other leagues. So I don't understand why Josh Chimpong is not being loaned to other leagues.
I think
That's the
the rules, unfortunately, doesn't favor that much these days. Unfortunately, we can't do that like we did before because the rules are not very good, and because he's already, I think, with the age as well, you can't. We couldn't just send another, more on loan as well. So, yeah, I think the rules really impact that quite a lot. It doesn't really help, to be honest. Before, like you said before, we can send 1,000 players on loan. Now we've got like six, so it's very tough. And I think Chelsea, don't forget, Chelsea offered him the loan last season. He came out, him and his camp came out and said they don't want a loan. They don't want a loan. They want to stay and they want to, get minutes, his money minutes. He was promised a certain amount of minutes. Well, I'm pretty sure Chelsea would have delivered those minutes because we don't know what those minutes are. It could be 15 games, it could be 10 games, but he's played those amount of games. So, like when we say, oh, like he hasn't really been given a go, well, he maybe has because he's played the games that they promised him, maybe. And not forget, he's young as well. Let's not forget, there's a pecking order as well, unfortunately. He's still quite young and he's doing the right thing, staying, that could actually favor him even going forward because he's stayed extra and he's listened and he's been patient. Sometimes being patient pays off.
Yeah, 100%. So let me go to the comment section because a lot of things that I need to catch up. So imagine Levi Cole and Lacroix and sender back Jew says, good day, Dante. Big up to my Austrian, Hungarian, Romanian captain.
All right, my boss, big up.
We need a proper left winger, J in. Not just signing potential players, we need experienced players as well too. Also, it says we need to move Rich James on his 26, and this guy still keeps getting injuries, and then also pick up UT Mzadi says the defense line of Liverpool. Lacroix, James, Palestra, and Harter could be best of the season. What remained in Chelsea squad could be goalkeeper and a left winger only. And Bigger Bro says, "What about Victor Osman to Chelsea? The deal is going through. Let me know. No, Victor Osman to Chelsea, it won't happen because I think we had an opportunity where we should get him on loan and then we didn't move. So I don't think Victor Osman will come to Chelsea. I think the ship already sailed. I rather sell Rhys James than Malagusa, to be honest. No. For me, I rather sell Malagusa. But I remember Rhys James is a baller compared to any other when he's fully fit. Don't forget. Yeah, man. Let's see. Let me go to another news items that we have, and then
Yeah, Tobago, and that's what I was saying. That right centre back. Well, who do we have? We have Fafana and James.
yeah,
They're probably the two that would start there, right? So if James is gone, or he might be, if that injury, we don't know. But even if it is injury, it's a long injury. So we need another centre back, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. But also, we still have Mamadou Asa, we still have Anselmino. We don't know what's going to happen. We still a lot
True,
of
true.
options as well. So, as much as I like Romano Wado, but again, we still have a lot of things we need to do. But again, I agree with Jay. For me personally, as much as I like Joshua Chimpo, man, we need really ready-made players to play Chelsea. But again, I'm not the club. I'm not the coach. Maybe see the
Yeah, yeah.
potential of Josh. We're not sure at the moment. It's too early until we see what is going to happen in the preseason, because the preseason will give us a clear indication what is going to happen in the season as well.
Yeah, I think we'll know pretty soon. Alonso doesn't beat around the bush too much in interviews, and I think he'll be asked pretty early on, and I think he'll probably be pretty straightforward what he wants and kind of who he wants, and I think we'll know pretty soon, probably after the first few weeks when he officially joins next week.
Yeah, it says, can you reduce the background noise? Unfortunately, I can't do that because it's school holidays now in South Africa, so kids are playing around in the streets. So as much as I want to do that, I just can't go to them and say, "Yeah, making noise will be rude as well." So I'll just mute my mic when I'm not talking. I think that will be more helpful. So since Trevor Chalva can leave Chelsea this summer and Kuma have sent initial official bid for Chelsea centre back, overall, what are your thoughts, Dante? Do you think it's time for Trevor Chalva to leave Chelsea? Because I know some Chelsea fans have this mentality that before Trevor Chalva leaves, we need to sell Badishile, Tose, and blah blah blah. But again, for me, doesn't work that way. If a player have a suitors, he should go first, man. I don't care about that.
Exactly.
So what are
And
your thoughts?
that's what I mean. If I think a lot of these players, like I said, they've been here a while. They know who they are. They know what they can do. The offers come in, are probably Chalobah, Disasi, Badiashile, these Tosin, these could probably go if the offer comes in, but it depends who the offer comes in from and when it comes, like you say. So if you're going to get a really good offer for Chalobah while his stock is high, let's not forget he had the call up to England now. That's probably helped us a little bit in a way. So his stock is a little bit high at the moment. His name's in the press everywhere because he got called up, etc. Well, if you get an offer for him and that offer is what you evaluated him at, and you're not quite sure about him going forward, well, I think you have to take it and deal with the other ones, like you say, after. You can't wait. Oh, let's wait for Badashil's offer. Let's wait for, Disasi's offer, and then we'll see. Well, no, if that's on there and it's good, it's what you want, well, then you have to, you have to take it. So I know a lot of fans love Chalobah. I do too, because he's Chelsea through and through. He's a professional. He's a really good guy as well, off the pitch as well, and the teammates love him as well. So he's a really all good round. Now, taking that sentimentality out as a player, he's a very, very good squad player. As a starting player to probably win you the Premier League, I don't see that, to be honest. And especially in an Alonso system as well, even more, because he's not going to be that CCB. He's probably going to be one of those on the right or the left. And those are the ones that your ball playing has to be really good. And he's very one-footed. He's only going to pass one way and one side. And that really, that's not that, good. Now, he's been playing a lot because we've had our problem with defense. Because of those other ones, some of them haven't been quite good enough. And he, like I said, he's a professional. He's come in and, but look, he's made a lot of mistakes as well when he's come in. He's played some good games, but he's made a lot of mistakes as well. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. I think this is the Chalobah that's going to be, and this is him. I don't see him getting any better, to be honest. Entering his prime now. This is Chalobah. This is going to be forward. A very good, strong squad player. Just like for England, he's in the squad, but he's not going to play. that's exactly at club level. I think he's going to be in a good squad, but he's going to play, but not he's not a guaranteed starter. That guy, he's just there if some of the others get injured or rotational, etc. But he's not a starting CB quality, in my personal opinion. And like you say, if that offer comes in and it's a great offer, and it helps you get a defender that you think is much better, well, I think you have to take that. You can't wait around for Buddy Shield or those guys. Where those guys are a little bit younger as well. Some of those guys, there's still a little bit that they might be able to take that next step. Chalobah, this is who he is. He's not taking another step. This is who he is. So, yeah, I think tough because, like I said, is sentimentally loved by a lot of the fans, but you have to move on at some time and make those hard decisions if you want to progress, unfortunately. If he stays and if he wants to stay as a squad player, you keep him. But if he wants to be a starter, well, you have to sell him because I don't think he's going to be that.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, when you please kindly like and subscribe to the channel. And also another thing with Chalobah, since Como is linked to him, I think he might help us to get Ramon on the other side, because as much as Como are doing very well, they need to make some sales as well in order for them to sign some players. So I think maybe something can happen behind the scene as well. So Jay, what are your thoughts about Chalobah potential leaving Chelsea? Are you happy about that?
Yes. Look, it's no secret. I really says that. For 2-3 years, I have been saying that he has been one of the best servants for this club that we can remember in the entire history. I would say he is really in the top uh, by how he has served us. Despite the constant pressure to leave in almost every window, specifically the one 2 years back, I think, where he was actually put into the bomb squad, or maybe somewhere where he had to leave. And then he went to Crystal Palace as well. And then when we required his services mid-season in the January transfer window, he came and he served us. He helped us without really making any fuss. So he has been Chelsea through and through, as Dante mentioned, really good servant, and that is why a lot of fans love him, including me. And I have been saying this one thing, that he is the best, player from the bench that any team can have as a defender. From the bench as a rotation in the cup games, if you want a player for the for the early rounds, he can come in, do a job really nicely. So that is where I really rate him. I think we could have. I still think that if we can keep him from the bench, he would be really good for us. In the cup games, and maybe from the substitutes as well in the Premier League as well. So he's that type of guy. But again, I think it's just a bit. He's just too worthy to be kept as a substitute or a bench player, and that is where there is a demand for him as well. Ideally, we would all want the deadwood of Badiashile and Disasi and Tosin to go prior to him, but market forces work in a strange way. If there is a demand for you, only then you can go. And there is a demand for Trevor Chalobah, as Dante mentioned. The England World Cup call uh, has risen his stocks a bit as well. So that is where he is in demand. And ideally, as I said, don't want him to leave before the other guys, but that's how the market operates. And if we get a good offer within the range of 50 to 55, 60, I think in between 40 and 50, I think we would sell him if we get a good offer. So yeah.
No, he's not going that much, Jake. You think someone's going to pay 50 million for Chalobah?
Yeah, 40 million euros. Why not? I think he's a very talented guy. We have been seeing market operate in a very strange way. So, I mean, we are going to ask for 20 million for Badiashile and Disasi. So, Chalobah is definitely going to cost 10, 20 millions higher than them. So, that is how I think about him. But yeah, overall, we can sell him. If we are going to bring in Ramon for him, then I think that is a deal that we should take him. That we should take. And yeah, thank you for your services. And I think he did a good part. but let's see what happens. Ideally, I don't want to leave him because from the bench he can help us a lot in this season as well in the coming seasons. But if there is a demand for him and we need the funds to finance the deal for Ramon or any other centre back, then he has to leave. So yeah, that's how I overall think about it. I like the fact that Dante mentioned that he's what 26 or 27, right? So
Yeah.
he is in his prime years, and this is the best that we are going to see from him. He's made mistakes as well, and we have seen his prime as well. I don't think there is much scope for improvement. So that is the best version of Chaluba that we are seeing right now, and that's where I think selling him is not that bad of an idea.
Yeah, so it says this. What do you think will be a realistic price for Tawa Chalaba? I think 20 to 25 million, I think will be enough for him. As much as Jay is asking for 40, 50, I don't think that is a realistic price tag for Tawa Chalaba. He's a good player, but again, I don't think it's worth that much. If you are doing that, he won't be sold, unfortunately. And remember, it's a pure profit as well. So we need to make sure we get a good price around 20 to 25 million. I think will be a decent price tag, and then will help us in terms of books as well, balance in the books. It
Yeah,
says
I
if
don't see
Malo,
him going more than 30 million. Max is 30 million for me as well. I don't see him going more than. I think at that 25 around there, to be honest. And that's why Como is coming after him. They need another body for the European football next season. No, some of the other sort of big clubs are not going to come to him. They're just not going to come as a starter, etc. So even at Como, he's not. I don't think he's going to start, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's his value. I don't see. That's why I said when he said 50, 40, 50, I'm like, that is not happening for Chalobah. I don't see anyone paying that much. 30 would be amazing, but I think more like Tobago says around that 25 mark.
says uh, if Malo Gusto leaves, who's going to replace him? And also for Enzo Fernandez, who's going to replace him too? I so hard to tell at the moment because if I think Malo Gusto, if he leaves, I don't think we're going to buy another right back because we'll still have Palestra and Rhys James on that side. And then in terms of Enzo Fernandez, I don't think we're going to get another Enzo Fernandez. But what do we need to do? We need to sign a proper DM, a player that can defend, also can sit to allow Moses Caicedo to move around. Because I think this is the issues we're having at the moment with Enzo and Caicedo. I know they both can play together, but again, Enzo likes to go forward. Caicedo sometimes sitting deep is good, but again, it's not that good enough because he likes to make some rush tackles as well. So I think we need to be smart in terms of getting a replacement. So I don't have that particular play at the moment. I know I said I want Bruno Camares, but again, it's going to cost as well. So I don't know. So guys, which which player do you want us to replace Enzo Fernandez? I'll start with J. Which player do you prefer to replace Enzo Fernandez in terms of balance, not the like to like prefer? Because I don't think we're going to get another type of Enzo player at the moment. Jay?
I'll go. Jay, it's probably
Okay.
a bit busy.
Okay.
Yeah, look, like I said a bit earlier, we're not replacing Enzo Fernandez. He's not really replaceable. He's a unique player as well. So we're not going to get the same profile. So I don't think that's going to happen. So um, yeah, like Tobago said as well. Yeah, look, I think we need more of a specialized DM, like a proper DM, like a bit taller, physical, a DM, a bit like Rodri in a way that can sit there, dictate play, but be very strong defensively and free up Moises Caicedo where he can be a bit more of a box to box, etc. Just to give us another option because we don't have that option. We don't really have that option on the pitch, on the bench. Sorry, we've got Esugo that can do He's probably more of a DM than actually than Caicedo, where he can cover a lot of ground, but he's not a big guy. He's more of a tackling on the floor. He's that type of destroyer that's going to do that stuff that gets around the pitch and puts our tackles in, similar to a Caicedo, but he's a bit more of a natural DM. But we still need that profile. We need a proper specialized DM, like I said, like a Rodri, etc. That type of guy that can sit there and really free up Caicedo or whoever would play alongside there. We don't have that profile. That's something we lack. And with the new system, especially the new system, Alonso, where he plays with two guys there, he likes those two guys there to sit more than anything. So we definitely need that more profile than more of an Enzo Fernandez type player. And let's not forget, Enzo Fernandez probably played 80% of the season as a 10. He didn't play as a DM, really, to be honest, or a CM even sometimes. He played more that 10 position for us. So this is a different type of system. It's a little bit different. If he stays, which not looking likely, but you never know. If he does stay, well, then he can play that deep, but we do play with two 10s, so he can fulfill one of those 10s as well. So he still would be very useful, but unfortunately, I think he will leave. I think he will end up at Real Madrid the way it's looking. So we just need to look at a different type of profile. So yeah, with Malo Gusto, we've kind of signed that guy already in Palestra. That's your right wing back, and we've kind of signed another guy in Quenda that plays for Sporting at that position as well, in the right wing back as well for Sporting. So you've kind of got those guys already for Gusto. If Gusto's going to leave, Gusto is not irreplaceable. He's, like I said, we've already got those two guys, one more offensive and the other guy a little bit more physical that can be very defensive as well. So we've got those guys already for Gusto. So Gusto's not really much of a problem, to be honest. I'm not too worried about the Gusto one. Where I do think we need that DM, and I think we need another 10. So if we can sell Enzo Fernandez for that massive fee, well, then we need to get a DM and a 10 because, Enzo can do both those as a one player, but we need probably two to do it properly in Alonso's system. We can use that money for a proper 10 and a proper DM.
Yeah, also another thing with Enzo going to Real Madrid, because I know Fabrizio Romano says at the moment there's no talks or personal terms agreed at the moment. I think the issue with Enzo Fernandez going to Real Madrid is Jose Mourinho, because as much as Enzo is a good player, but again, Jose Mourinho likes proper midfielders. Enzo is a good player, but again, defensively, have some defenses as well. So defensive, so I think the issue is that, and also I don't think Tchouaméni will leave Real Madrid. Tchouaméni, maybe Camavinga or Valverde, if they get sold, I think Enzo can come to Real Madrid. So I think it's going to be hard for Enzo to go to Real Madrid. We might be at the end of the season.
You think Mourinho doesn't like Enzo?
No, I'm saying the way Jose Mourinho likes to play, he likes two proper DMs. But again, he used to have Fabregas at Chelsea, so that might be another thing as well.
Exactly. I was going to say not really, because Fabregas and
Fabregas.
The second time as well. So no, I think he would love him. You know why? Because he's fire. He's very passionate, and he's in the Spanish league, he's going to look a way better player than at Chelsea. And at Chelsea, he's been amazing, world class, in my opinion. I think he'll look even better because the way the league is there and the way the players he's going to have around him, he's going to look even much more amazing. And that's why they're going to pay that much money for him, because they know that, they need a guy like him that can dictate the tempo and dictate the play, which they've missed quite a lot, with Cruz, etc. Those type of players leaving. Modric, Cruz. Well, Modric was not a very physical player and not very acceleration, okay, but not really fast. Cruz, again, wasn't very fast. He's just floating around. So I think, Enzo, I think he's got the fire, the heat that Mourinho loves, in a player. Passionate, mentality, So I think he'll love him. I don't see a problem, to be honest, with Mourinho. I think just keeping. I think we're keeping it quiet, and I think Madrid are keeping it quiet as well because to respect us, I think keeping it quiet, a bit more quiet, and that's why they haven't really, come out and said Enzo this. Like they haven't come out like they said, uh, after Elise, after that, they haven't come and actually said Enzo at any time, and I think that's to respect us because how we want to do business this window. Because if they probably were going to do that, I don't think Chelsea maybe would probably deal with them then.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And
That's
big
just
up
my
to
personal opinion.
Desmo. Yeah, I agree with you as well, because if I heard some rumors says the Argentina coach doesn't want his players to leave during the World Cup window, which is a good thing as well, because as much as countries are leading players to move around to do medicals in America, I think it's not helping the country as well, because you're putting a player to a different mentality. So then the World Cup end, and then after the World Cup, I think Enzo Fernandez mostly likely to leave as well. Also, in terms of the financial thing, we need to register him in the new financial books as well. So maybe that's why there've been some quiet news about Enzo going to Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, they've kind of been. They've named every single player they've wanted. The other ones they've signed. They went up and they've always kept. They've never really said anything about Enzo. They've kept it very quiet, to be honest. It's more the media doing it, but not actually like Madrid. The president always said, "Oh no, it's not. It's not from the Premier League. No, it's not. No." Kind of been very quiet about it. But I think, like I said, yeah, it's got to do with the national team, but also to respect Chelsea's wishes. Because they know if they do it the other way, well, Chelsea will say, no, we're not selling him to you. Simple as that. We're not going to do business with you if you don't do it that way. So I think it's going to get done. But yeah, like you said, the new financial year, but also they didn't want Enzo's name everywhere, even though it's been a little bit. But the way that Perez came out and named, he wants that player, is 120 million. They're going to put a bid in for that player from that league. There was no Enzo anywhere there. Nothing at all. Zero.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Desmond. Says Buddy Chile, both Fofana, Gusto, Enzo, all should go if possible. 100%. I agree with you. And then, guys, big up Jay again, guys. So I have to go. A great conversation. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming in, bro. So I just want to talk about who is this player now? The last player. Okay, Dante, I wanted to talk about which Stella. What are your thoughts about him? The Stuttgart guy. If we replace Enzo with him, would you like it? Would you like him?
Stiller.
Yeah, Stella. Yeah,
Stiller. Again, he's not an Enzo. He's not an Enzo Fernandez. Again, he's not a proper DM either. He's not a really. He's a kind of. He's one of those again in a way that's. Is he a CM? Is he a DM? Is he attacking midfielder? He's a bit of a hybrid of everything. You don't know exactly. I don't think we need that because we've got Andre Santos, we've got Lavia, we've got Barco's coming now as well. I don't think we need that type of that type of player where he's the same height as those guys, the same physical attributes as those guys. There's nothing different. There's not much difference, to be honest. Yeah, you can say maybe, he's got a little bit better numbers, but yeah, that's because the league he's playing in as well. It's different. It's not as physical as the Premier League. So it's a little bit different. So look, he's a really good player, but I would say no to him, to be honest, because I think we've got profiles quite a lot like him, to be honest. We don't need a profile like that. And his height, and he's quite small, and he's not very physical either. I don't think we need that type of player. I think we've got players like that already.
Okay, bro, no problem. Let's see what is going to happen. I think we covered a lot of things, but before we end off, I want us to talk about these rumors about Mota potentially going to Strasbourg, which I don't know might be true as well. It says rumors RC Strasbourg have made contact with former Juventus manager Thiago Motta over the vacancy head coach position. According to reports from France, the Italian tactician is understood to be among several candidates being considered following Gary O'Neill's departure to Ipswich Town. Strasbourg are prioritizing appointing an English-speaking coach due to the importance
Yeah.
of communication with Bluco and multi-language profile reportedly makes him an attractive option. Discussions are said to be in the early stages with no indication yet of how advanced the talks are. So, if Strasbourg Santiago Mota, will that be fantastic?
It would. Let's not forget he was one of the hottest coaches in Europe. You know, the up and coming coaches
Yes.
when he went and who went and got him. Juventus went and got him, and it didn't quite work out. But he was one of the best, you know, up and coming. And yeah, I think he'll be a great asset to get at Strasbourg because of that experience he's had. He's had the smaller club, he had the bigger club. He didn't quite work out, but that's really experience you want to take now to Strasbourg. I think that would be a great asset. And yeah, the multilingual, he can speak, he's Italian, obviously, can speak, he actually can speak French, English very well, and Italian. And that's pretty much the whole squad of, of Strasbourg. So that's massive. Yeah, that really helps. But yeah, I think he went a bit too early when he got, put up to a big club like Juventus. I think he went a bit early, but that was his connection there because he played there in the past. He had a connection there. It didn't quite work out, but he's still a very good young manager, and he's very young as a manager. 43 is quite young for a manager, so I think it'll be a perfect signing, to be honest. And by the way, Gary O'Neill, did you see? Can you believe that we got £5 million for Gary O'Neill as well? Bluca got 5 million for him as well. On top of Enzo Fernandez, 20 million. They got O'Neill 5 million for him as well. So money won't be a problem for them. They got extra money for a manager now as well. So they can probably go for a more bigger name like a Motta, because he's still got a big name. He's like, even though he didn't quite work out at Juventus, he's still, like I said, he's one of the young, really up and coming, really good coaches. So that would be quite a coup for Strasbourg, and that'll be a perfect signing for them. I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I agree with you. I think Thiago Motta will be a fantastic appointment. But again, in terms of Strasbourg getting a new coach, it's so quiet at the moment. So it seems like now Chelsea and Strasbourg are moving so quietly recently, which is a good thing because as much as I like to talk about Chelsea transfer news, sometimes we link with some players, and at the end of the transfer window, we look at the beginning of the transfer window and we get excited, we get mad, and then we end up signing average players. So,
are you surprised O'Neill left, or did you think he's going to leave?
Man, but I'm surprised. But I was thinking as soon as he's linked to Fulham or another English club,
You'll leave, yeah.
Yes, just like Liam Rusina, I said he wanted to come back to England. So that's the thing.
I think the pool, because his family's back home. So yeah, I think and also the salary. Let's not forget, you're going to get a much bigger salary, even though it's Ipswich. The salary is more because it is in pounds, not in euros. So it's already a lot more anyway. So I think he just wanted to go home, and because I'm actually surprised. I think he did a very good job, in my opinion. I think he did very well when he came in. And it looked like the players really liked him as well. I'm surprised he left, but then when I found out why he left, then I wasn't surprised. But hey, you got to give Bluco, they got £5 million for him as well. On top of that, at least they got a good compensation for him, because I mean, they could have lost him for nothing. At least they got and maybe that money can help him get a bigger name like Motta.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. So anyway, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. It's been a long 2 hours, and finally my signal today is much better. So at least now
we had a pretty much error-free stream.
Yeah. So, and also thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. We had a lot of people on the chat today. Ali Hassam. We had who regard to up something like that. We had Bast. We had Jay. We had Siaka, South Africa. We had a lot of people. So if I haven't mentioned your name, I really appreciate. Apologize. But update Charles, guys. See you in the next stream.
Take care, guys.